I just realized my mic is over there. Not in fact attached to me. Mostly because I had my headphones with me in the hospital because, fuck not being able to listen to anything for 6 days. Yeah, I had a not great time, but in fairness, it wasn't the hospital's fault. It was just, well, let's just say it was very painful. Gotta love surprise hospital visits, though. They're the best. But also, fuck that music. Oh. Yeah, I did that, and then I clicked play on Half-Life 2, and it was like, actually, there is a couple hundred megabytes of update. Hello, Lynn.
How are you feeling, man?
I am feeling substantially better than I was when I had ended up not being home for a while there. Because hospitals are fun. But yeah, I'm doing much better now. How are you doing? Hello?
Other than the panic attack I had at night, I'm doing better.
That's good. I've got you at 200% volume, but I can barely hear you.
It's because my mic was moved away from my mouth.
Fair enough. Wonder why there's a little red square in the bottom left. Right, I was at this part where I was completely stuck trying to figure out how I'm supposed to proceed. I'm in Nova Prospect, and I need to figure out how to go upstairs. I can get up here, but I can't do anything from fairly certain I'm not supposed to backtrack. But I cleared this area out. And I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do. Like, clearly I think I'm supposed to get inside there. Not only is there a gun and a button to press, got it. Figured it out.
Ragdoll Vortigaunt. There's a lot of pain to see in this dead Vortigaunt. Pain of our level designers. At the time, our development tools didn't allow us to directly pose a ragdoll, which is to say, when an NPC dies and it systemically ragdolls to the ground, we didn't have any control over what pose it ended up in. If we'd had some animator time, they could have given us a single frame animation and roughly the pose we wanted, but we were late and our small animation team was already overloaded. So a level designer positioned the Vortigaunt above the chair, pulled it to die as the level loaded, and waited to see what pose the ragdoll settled into. Then the designer moved the Vortigaunt slightly.
Laser mines. We really enjoyed bringing these laser trip mines into Nova Prospect. They were a weapon from Half-Life 1 we hadn't managed to include in Half-Life 2, but at least they found a place as a puzzle element. We liked how they served as a kind of personal morality test when the player had an antlion army. Some players immediately threw bug bait past the trip mines, sending antlion bodies at the problem, while others had their little buddies back until they'd safely removed the trip mines with other tools. We didn't judge.
I got
Ragdoll
shot in the
Vortigaunt.
face.
There's a lot of pain to see in this dead Vortigaunt, pain of our level designers. At the time,
Turn that off.
Laser mines. We really enjoyed bringing these laser trip mines into Nova Prospect. They were a weapon from Half-Life 1 we hadn't managed to include in Half-Life 2, but at least they found a place as a puzzle element. We liked how they served as a kind of personal morality test when the player had an antlion army. Some players immediately threw bug bait past the trip mines, sending antlion bodies at the problem, while others had their little buddies back until they'd safely removed the trip mines with other tools. We didn't judge.
Pretty sure I've owned that monitor there. Nope, that wasn't the thing.
Laser mines. We really enjoyed bringing these laser trip mines into Nova Prospect.
Airlines are kind of great, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's what I want.
Laser mines. We really enjoyed bringing these laser trip mines into Nova Prospect.
physics. It's kind of fun.
Contact locked. Locked 2. Deploy. Reinforce. Intercept. Contact locked 4.
There we go. Well, less noisy. Yeah, okay. I was just gonna say that's floating, but it's not, so. Oh yeah, I was in the hospital. It was great. It was fantastic. It was.
Deploy.
I have to put needles in myself 4 times a day now.
D2 Prison 04. Throughout development, our artists created small vertical slices of environments, which we called art zoos. These zoos laid out how to use textures and props to create gameplay spaces that achieved our visual goals. However, when building the prison's gameplay track, the repetitive layout allowed us to use
Oh yeah,
art more directly.
yeah. No, turns
This
out I
map was
have
initially built
diabetes
as the primary
now,
art zoo for
so
Nova
that's
Prospect,
all kinds of fun.
but after being used to test various gameplay prototypes, including those that eventually led to bug bait, it became part of the actual level architecture.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, basically what ended up happening, right? Guessing type 2 exists. We don't know yet. But basically, I went to the hospital in a great amount of pain. I had a infection in my intestines that was caused by a lack of blood flow to my intestines. Let me tell you, that's a whole nother form of agony you don't even know. And in the middle of it, I also had a migraine that they didn't treat for, like, many hours.
The act of giving shelter to Gordon might cause other resistance members to
Oh, it was incredibly painful, yeah.
Of course, the question is a limits, even from some. Move over to our whether we can accomplish
Not working today because of migraine? Yeah. I get that.
Attention ground. Mission failure will result in permanent off-world assignment. Code reminder. Sacrifice. Coagulate. Plan.
How is it possible? This is not some agent provocateur or
Contact.
But yeah, no, it was bad. It was really bad. And when discussing it with one of the nurses, they were like, if I hadn't come in, I probably would have died.
D2 Prison 04. Throughout development, our artists created small vertical slices of environments, which we called art zoos. These zoos laid out how to use textures and props to create gameplay spaces that achieved our visual goals. However, when building the prison's gameplay track, the repetitive layout allowed us to use the art more directly. This map was initially built as the primary art zoo for Nova Prospect, but after being used to test various gameplay prototypes, including those that eventually led to bug bait, it became part of the D2 Prison 04. Throughout development, our artists created small vertical slices of environments, which we called art zoos. These zoos laid out how to use textures and props to create gameplay spaces that achieved our visual goals. However, when building the prison's gameplay track, the repetitive layout allowed us to use the art more directly. This map was initially built as the primary art zoo for Nova Prospekt, but after being used to test various gameplay prototypes, including those that eventually led to Bugbait, it became part of the actual level architecture.
A great deal of license in the spirit of spreading general chaos and terror. This brings me to the one note of disappointment I must echo from our benefactors. Obviously, I am not on the ground to closely command or second guess the dedicated forces of the Overwatch. But this does not mean I can shirk responsibility for
Okay, fair.
failures.
I was going to just, disable that, but sure.
How is it possible? This is not some agent provocateur or highly trained assassin we are discussing. Gordon Freeman is a theoretical physicist who had hardly earned the distinction of his PhD at the time of the Black Mesa incident. I have good reason to believe that in the intervening years, he was in a state that precluded further development of covert skills. The man you have consistently failed to slow, let alone capture, is by all standards simply that, an ordinary man. How can you have failed?
Good bugs. Okay, they're giving me a lot of healing right now. Also, that was broken until I changed screen.
D2 Prison 05 start. With the player able to move a large number of objects, we often ran into challenges, especially given the limitations of 2003's CPUs. One limitation was that our AI navigation system wasn't aware of dynamic physics objects, like these metal beds. While our NPC movement system could detect and avoid physics objects while moving, they were essentially invisible during navigation queries for strategic planning before movement. This was primarily due to performance limitations. We couldn't afford anything more complex. We also faced design challenges without clear solutions, like how a soldier should respond if a player completely blocked a corridor with large physics objects. To address this, we gave NPCs additional strength to push physics objects around. We then mitigated the issue through level design, widening corridors and ensuring enough empty space to handle props landing anywhere within them. This setup is a high-risk one. The combination of soldiers hiding behind beds and antlions charging for melee attacks creates a good chance of awkward interactions between the NPC movement system and the beds.
Laundry. By the time the player reaches this level, known as Laundry, we're confident they're comfortable using Bugbait to solve combat scenarios. So, we wanted to raise the stakes a bit by creating a scenario that encourages the player to get even more involved, combining Bugbait with their full set of weapons.
Go on.
Kitchen. It's a well-known custom among game developers that all video game kitchens must feature a gas explosion.
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, they even did that in in Limited 2. That's a random screen sound that I wasn't honestly expecting.
One-way drops. Players never know what's ahead of them, but they're familiar with what's behind them, so it's common for them to retreat to familiar ground when they encounter an enemy. If we've built an arena where we want the player to engage, especially for an enemy with specific geometry requirements, like the Antlion Guard, we need a way to prevent that retreat. A common solution is to require the player to enter the arena through a one-way drop, something you've likely noticed a few times already.
Oh yeah, definitely did. Although I just realized the reason they would say that is undoubtedly because I'm supposed to jump through a window. Oh, that's dealt with. I wonder what that random piece of geometry there is. Hello, head. Hello, moto. Really? Okay, not that way then. Okay, here's a question. Okay, I don't know if there's an intended way out, but what was I gonna say? Doesn't matter anymore. Oh, hey, it's Alex!
Alex's toolkit. Alex was...
I'm glad you made it here in one piece.
Yeah. You nearly got
Up
green.
there somewhere in that holding area. It's gonna take some doing to get him out. Let's get out of here.
Alex's toolkit. Alex's multi-tool is incredibly useful for letting us use her as a key. Often we needed to keep the player from moving forward until we were ready, and her multi-tool allowed her to deliver dialogue while unlocking the way ahead. We probably relied on it a bit too much, but it was hard to resist. There was always a trade-off. Using Alex to gate a room instead of creating a custom solution saved time that we could spend on other parts of the game, often more critical ones.
That's... I actually legitimately didn't notice that they did it that much.
Alex as companion. This section became an unintentional prototype for what Episode 1 would eventually feature, Alex as a companion, moving smoothly along a path that blends dynamic combat with scripted choreography. We didn't yet have a clear model for how she would fit alongside the player in these scenarios, but even this brief section taught us a lot, despite not having enough time to iterate on it.
Fair enough.
I'm afraid I'm flying blind here. Every now and then a Vortigaunt gets captured and sends back information, but we don't have a complete picture of the place. The little we do know is all bad. Get ready.
Well, I'm glad apparently they can phase through the floor.
All right. Over here. This'll get me into their security system.
Good.
Now to find my father. Oh my god. These poor people. There. All right, I think I can bring him in. There. He's on the way. Let's go meet him.
You're here, and she's obviously being used as a wait key, but...
Ha! Done. Follow me.
Probably could have waited to use that at a slightly better time, but it's fun.
Come on.
You got absolutely lit up, and you were just standing there.
He should be in here. Let me just get this open. There he is.
Eli in pod choreography.
All right. Let me see if I can get this open.
Alex, Gordon, is that really you? I can't believe you found me.
Dad, are you all right?
I'm fine, but you've got to get out of here.
We're here to get you out, Dad.
Never mind me. Save yourselves.
No, we're not leaving you. I think I can recalibrate the Combine portal to get us out of here.
But where will you go?
I talked to Dr. Kleiner. His portal was almost working again. If he's managed to repair it, we'll end up there. If he hasn't, well, we couldn't be any worse off.
It's not worth the risk, Alex. I can't lose you. Get out while you can.
We're not leaving here without you. That's final.
We can't leave Judith here either.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll find her. For now, I'm going to send you to the teleport chamber. I'm not saying goodbye, Dad. We'll meet you there.
I know you will. I'll see you there, baby.
Don't worry, I've been doing me lots of hydrating.
Let's get out of here.
Eli in pod choreography. We wrote and recorded dialogue for the scene while still building out Nova Prospekt. At that stage, we knew Alex and Gordon would teleport out of the prison, but none of the specifics had been worked out. So the dialogue needed to be broad enough to fit whatever we ultimately built.
Damn it.
Eli in pod choreography.
He's gonna stand here while we listen.
We wrote and recorded dialogue for the scene while still building out Nova Prospect. At that stage, we knew Alex and Gordon would teleport out of the prison, but none of the specifics had been worked out. So the dialogue needed to be broad enough to fit whatever we ultimately built.
Yeah.
This led us to focus less on the player's actions and more on Alex's vulnerability and her connection to her father. We hoped the emotion would carry the scene more than the narrative itself. Ultimately, we're aiming for the player to care about these characters and want to prioritize what's important to Alex.
Go on, Gordon.
All right, let's go. Well, you're naturally going to urinate out a wad of sugar. Not that I've been eating a lot of sugar, to be clear. I've cut almost all of it out of my diet. Most of the carbs. My blood sugar is still close to double what it should be, but it's better than like the... Okay, if a normal person is 7, I was at 30 when I got to the hospital. So there you go.
Let's see what I can do to clear the way for you. Keep an eye out for Mossman. I'll get my dad through the prison as far as I can, then I'll catch up with you. Hang on, I'll see if I can figure out how to get that gate open. Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah, no, far from great. Far from good.
I'll have this open in a jiffy. Damn, it's jammed. Okay, I've got an idea. Head back to that office.
On it.
According to the schematics, there should be a vent behind those shelves.
I knew something was off.
Vent. You probably know this, but if there's a vent, there has to be a head crab in it. We don't make these rules. They, like the vents themselves, come straight from the top.
I want to point out that I've been in multiple events that did not, in fact, contain head crab.
Be careful, Gordon. I'm picking up a lot of Combine sensors in the area ahead. I'll start working on this gate. Just a sec. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna end up on that side at some point.
Uh-oh, look at the
Look down.
Look targets. One of the key tools in our design toolkit is the look target, an invisible point in space that activates when the player looks at it. Designers can specify how accurately the player has to look at it, the duration of the look, and other conditions. Once activated, the look target triggers various events in the game. For example, Alex might wait for the player to look at her before delivering a line of dialogue. A spectacle might begin only when it's in view, or a combine dropship might fly over when the player is looking in its general direction. Once we implemented look targets, designers found endless ways to use them to make gameplay feel more reliable for players, especially since some move at very different speeds or in difficult to predict ways. Look targets. One of the key tools in our design toolkit is the look target, an invisible point in space that activates when the player looks at it. Designers can specify how accurately the player has to look at it, the duration of the look, and other conditions. Once activated, the look target triggers various events in the game. For example, Alex might wait for the player to look at her before delivering a line of dialogue. A spectacle might begin only when it's...
Grenade puzzle. This small puzzle often caused players to get stuck during playtests because the unlimited grenade box was placed a bit behind them on their path. By this point in the game, players have fully learned to associate unlimited ammo boxes with puzzle solutions. So if a grenade box were here, they'd immediately know they needed a grenade to solve it. We wanted them to have to think a little first. Eventually, we added a subtle hint by making grenades visible on the desk through a window, just to remind players they're available. They also helped uncover a bug in a playtest when a player approached to look more closely and ended up collecting the grenade through the glass.
The hell just happened? I just got like launched there. Do you see that?
Control room. Looks like it's still occupied.
Mossman's betrayal. Our original plan for Judith Mossman's arc was for her to betray the player around this point. But by the time we reached the scene, having developed other parts of the game, we felt she was more likely just trying to protect Eli. We envisioned her reconsidering, realizing she couldn't actually betray Gordon. We had ideas to clarify this shift later, but ultimately we never finished her arc. We liked the ambiguity in Mossman, but players didn't seem to. They almost universally hated her. That might be a success, though. We worked hard to build the player's affinity for Alex, and Alex wasn't exactly a fan of Judith either.
Her name's also kind of a thing. Judith. Like, just saying. That could be the bass sound for a song.
I can reprogram these turrets to attack the enemy. Set them up to defend the control room.
Warning. Malignant viral interface bypass detected. Polyphasic core programming detected. Sterilized and contained.
I can't shut down those fields from here. I'm going to have to catch up with you to get access to them. I'm picking up a lot of incoming soldiers. Hold the fort till I get there.
I mean, I wasn't explicitly told to drink a bunch of water. It was just a case of you should drink more water. So I have been. Where'd the other one go? There it is.
Mossman's betrayal. Our original plan for Judith Mossman's arc was for her to betray the player around this point. But by the time we reached the scene, having developed other parts of the game, we felt she was more likely just trying to protect Eli. We envisioned her reconsidering, realizing
Be there in a second, Gordon.
I'm sure you will.
Sorry it took me so long.
Nice dropping in. You could have warned
Glad
me.
to see you're okay. Let's see if we can find Mossman. It looks like this station might give me better access. There she is. Wait a minute. How'd she...
It's from your area.
I'm not calling about that. What's she up to? You promised you weren't going to touch Eli. Oh my
The
god.
soldiers were a bit overzealous, I admit, but he was too tempting a prize to simply turn loose, especially in the absence of Gordon Freeman.
You would have had Freeman if you'd been patient and just waited for my signal.
We weren't entirely sure you were ever going to get around to that. Human loyalties being what they are.
Dr. As I have stated before, you have to let Eli come around on his own.
I have
Yes.
known Dr. Vance far longer than you, my dear. I'm afraid your feelings for him may have blinded you.
Feelings? This has nothing to do with feelings. It's a simple truth that when Eli believes
This is not open to debate, Dr. Mossman.
Doctor, please.
So sorry, Judith. I'm all out of time.
Damn her! I don't believe this! Come on, Gordon. Now we've really got to hurry. Go on ahead. I'll disrupt the next level of security and catch up with you when I can.
I see what they were going for. I'm surprised they aborted.
Turret training exit. This pile of trash, along with the cluttered descent down the stairs, is designed to discourage players from bringing a turret with them. While it wouldn't break anything if they did, we wanted to make it less likely. Making it inconvenient to keep the turret isn't an ideal design strategy, but it was better than nothing. Many playtesters eventually gave up and tossed the turret aside once they felt the game was trying to tell them something.
What I can tell you is I've actually lost a not small amount of weight since, like, especially in the hospital, I lost quite a bit. Yep. That I have. Oh good, zappy water. Oh, I thought I could stand on the dead body. Okay, just verifying. I mean, really, it's spicy water more than anything. Ha! Get fucked. Damn it. Hot chocolate and the acid kinds of spicy chocolate drink? Fair enough. You know, everybody has something that they're a little bit of a nerd about. Yours is apparently historical hot chocolate. Damn it. I figured it was more about it like other literature, but fair enough. Well, I mean, hey, you know, I mean, honestly, you may have picked that up from literature, from some old literature or something. How do I whiff that many shots? I did do it, eventually. I still whiffed quite a number of shots.
Final Turret Arena. When building the arc of a gameplay element, like allied turret usage, we often build a prototype that represents the arc's endpoint first. We iterate on that prototype in Final Turret Arena. When building the arc of a gameplay element, like allied turret usage, we often build a prototype that represents the arc's endpoint first. We iterate on that prototype until the playtests show that it works. Then we work backward, adding preceding scenarios to introduce the element and build player skill. This approach ensures the final arc is engaging before we invest substantial time. It also means that, by the time we create training scenarios, we've observed enough playtests to know which skills need guidance and which players will grasp naturally. The final turret scenario was our goal, emphasizing the player's defense against enemies from multiple directions, requiring dynamic turret placement and recovery.
Allied turrets balancing. Balancing this fight around the allied turrets was challenging. The turrets are the novel element here, so if players ignore them, the gameplay feels redundant, because so much of it is similar to what's come before. We wanted to require turret usage and reward strategic placement, but it was highly binary. Perfect placement made a fight easy, while poor placement made it very difficult. Tuning and custom soldier AI logic helped. Soldiers became better at toppling turrets by throwing grenades or flanking to knock them down. These changes made the fight less about a perfect setup and more about actively maintaining turrets, as any setup will be disrupted at some point. Playtests vary widely, with some players finding it too hard and others calling it their favorite fight. Running out of time, we ultimately made it a bit easier and shipped it, so we were unsatisfied with the final balance.
Gotta get bit chaotic there for a second.
We must have hit one of those soldiers. They're coming in from everywhere.
Hi, how you doing?
Sorry to take so long, Gordon. Looks like you could have used some help.
I
won't leave you again, though. Now let's track down Mossman.
prior to the Combine, there's no way this place would still be inhabited. There's just... It's too structurally unsound.
Flares. This section is a nice counterpoint to the previous turret segment in terms of production and cost and iteration. Built very late, it came together quickly as the AI for Alex and the Carbine Soldier was already mature. We liked the darkness and flares and filed it away as something explored further. Later, we revisited it when planning the dark sections in Episode 1. Flares. This section is a nice counterpoint to the previous turret segment in terms of production and cost and iteration. Built very late, it came together quickly as the AI for Alex and the Carbine Soldier was already mature. We liked the darkness and flares and filed it away as something explored further. Later, we revisited it when planning the dark sections in Episode 1.
Mission failure will result in permanent off-world assignment.
Great, another security station.
Sacrifice.
All right, Mossman, where are you? Ha. Found her. Ha! Got you now. Uh-oh. Well, come on, Gordon. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Most assuredly not.
Meeting Mossman. Reuniting the player and Alex with Mossman after the betrayal scene was tricky. As many players felt, they should shoot Mossman on sight.
There she is. Leave it talking to me, Gordon. We may need her to get out of here.
Hello? Oh, thank God someone... Alex? Gordon, how did you get in here?
We know all about you and Breen.
What?
You've been a spy for the Combine the whole time.
What are you talking about?
Damn it! Move back, Mossman. We're coming in.
Meeting Mossman. Reuniting the player and Alex with Mossman after the betrayal scene was tricky. As many players felt, they should shoot.
Shut up and be glad you're still some use to us. We're going to reconfigure this teleport and get the hell out of here.
You see, we're working to the same end. I've already reprogrammed the modulator to emulate a Zen relay.
That's my father's work you stole.
It's my work, too. And I had to prove to Dr. Breen that your father would be the most valuable member of any research effort going forward.
Enough of your bullshit! Look, Gordon, there's my dad. I'm going to bring him in.
You found Eli?
No thanks to you. Just enter the coordinates for Dr. Kleiner's lab and let's get moving.
But we need access to the teleport platform and we're locked out.
I'll take care of that. Let's get going. Oh my God. You've been working with this thing? For how long?
Never. Until now. I did have a fairly good idea of what to expect.
I'll bet you did. It looks like it's waiting for us.
The Combine use a peculiar pulse-forming network with a very long rise time. It takes quite a while to recharge.
So you've warmed it up for us. Good. And just in time. Dad, down here! Sorry we took so long. I hope that wasn't too bad for you.
Don't worry about me, sweetheart. Judith! I see they set you free.
Not exactly.
Eli! I was so worried about you.
The coordinates, Dr. Mossman.
So, this is the Combine. It's smaller than I imagined.
Mm-hmm. And very similar to the one.
Dr. Kleiner!
Yes, Alex. Where are you?
We're in Nova Prospect, and we're running the Zen emulation for the first time. Are you ready for us?
Ready, willing, and fully enabled.
Good. We'll send my dad through first. He's in position for... What's that? Hold on, gotta bring this back down.
Wait a second, how do you get it?
What are you doing? I'm sorry, Alex. It's the only. No! Get back!
What's going on,
Dad!
Alex? Jonas!
No!
What's happening?
Dr. Kleiner, you have to stop them.
Stop who, my dear?
Oh my god! What coordinates are these? Where the hell did she take him? No. Cover me, Gordon. I've got to reset the portal. Gordon, use the turrets.
Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event. Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event. Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event. Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event. Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players
I have no idea if we're at the end of Half-Life 2 or not. I've never actually beaten it. I think we're, in theory, getting close? Question mark?
My god, we made it. But where's Dr. Kleiner?
Why is this walled off?
Dr. Kleiner, let us out!
Alex? Gordon? My God, how did you get here? And when?
What's wrong?
My dear, I had given up hope of ever seeing you again.
I was afraid we might not make it either. I think the teleport exploded just as we were porting out.
Indeed, it did. And the repercussions were felt far and wide, but that was over a week ago.
Oh,
What do you mean? Gordon and I were just there a minute ago.
Fascinating. We seem to have developed a very slow teleport. This suggests an entirely new line of investigation.
Say least.
A week? Then what have we missed?
A great deal, my dear. The blow you struck at Nova Prospect was taken as a signal to begin the uprising.
But what about my father?
Well, that is most troubling. According to the Vortigaunts, he is a prisoner at the Citadel.
We've got to get my father out.
Barney has been leading a push with that very aim in mind. And another of your friends arrived several days ago.
Dog, you made it! Good boy.
So
They've
there,
removed
you
most
see,
of the interactables.
It's not all hopeless.
I shared your optimism, Doctor.
Doc, come in. Are you there? Hey, Doc, are you there?
Yes, Barney. And I'm no longer alone. Alex and Gordon have just arrived.
Well, man, that's good news. I almost gave you guys up for lost. We're planning to set up a staging area for attacking the Citadel.
Gordon and Dog can head your way. I want to get Dr. Kleiner somewhere safer. Then I'll meet up with you.
I'll take all the help I can get. Aw, crap! Incoming! Go on, get going!
Okay, Gordon, you heard him. I'll catch up with you as soon as I get Dr. Kleiner settled.
Just a minute. I can't leave without Lamar.
Oh, no.
Where did she get to?
Go on, Gordon. I'll take care of this. Gordon, take care of yourself out there.
Will do.
Dr. Kleiner, there's really no time.
No, she's around here someplace.
Find you another plan. Plenty to go over top.
Well, this is interesting. Well, I am officially anti-citizen number 1, so that's neat.
Dog combat. Dog is a really fun character, and we were always looking for ways to include him in combat alongside the player. However, getting the right scale of combat for him, meeting the appropriate environment, new enemy AI, and potentially even new enemies, quickly fell beyond the project's scope. To create a combat scenario that did justice to Dog and could stand up against the rest of the game, it almost felt like we'd be building a new game inside of the game. We knew he couldn't just run over to a soldier and throw a punch. He'd feel less impressive, without any sense of awe. He needed bigger threats to match his scale, along with interesting ways to interact with him. In the end, we chose to create a large choreographed scene, delivering on the cinematic goals for Dog in combat without incorporating extensive gameplay design.
this is very one way. Found it.
Well, Gordon Freeman. And about time, too.
Citizen squads. Our early tests of Combine versus Citizen street fights revealed an issue. Without boundaries, combat AI could drift significantly away from the player. Soldiers might retreat to reload and take cover, and Citizen AI would give chase. We needed a way to align the citizens' actions more closely with the player's goals, keeping them aware of where the player was heading and which enemies the player wanted to engage. This led to the creation of a Citizen Player Squad. The Citizen AI used this squad to move with the player, engaging the same enemies and providing a basic interface for the player commands. We initially had a more complex command system, but it quickly became unwieldy, so we scaled it back.
Once we'd established the Citizen Player Squad and started building scenarios around it, we found it created other interesting opportunities. Playtesters began to care about specific squad members, so we added more to their design. Squad members would pick up better weapons if they found them, pass the player ammo when needed, and medics would heal the player as necessary. We also had to ensure the squad could keep up with the player, who often took unpredictable paths. Off-camera, the squad would cheat in various ways, regenerating health between fights, moving quickly to catch up, and even teleporting when necessary.
Let us know where you want us, Dr. Freeman.
Here goes nothing.
Cool.
Unit down at external jurisdiction.
Yeah, I've never gotten to this
This
point.
corrugated metal panel was deliberately placed over the hull to encourage players to switch to the gravity gun and remove the obstruction. It's a bit of manipulation on our part because we found that training players on hopper mines worked much better if they immediately tried using the gravity gun on them, and the metal panel significantly increased the chance they'd have it ready. We placed multiple mines in the hull so players would have several opportunities to interact with them, increasing the chances they'd discover alternative ways of disposing of them. Furthermore, this is the first time we're doing training while the player has a whole squad of citizens with them, so we took advantage of that opportunity to include some dialogue lines concerning the hopper mines as well.
They're everywhere. Don't waste the hoppers, Dr. Freeman. We can use them against the Combine.
Okay, so I was just verifying that was the case.
Watch out for the hoppers. They're everywhere.
Don't waste the hoppers, Dr. Freeman. We can use them against the Combine. If you can get those hoppers up without setting them off, you can plant them wherever you want them.
aspire to greater things.
AI behaviors. One piece of AI technology we developed for Half-Life 2 was the behavior system. Behaviors were chunks of AI gameplay code that guided NPCs in specific situations. For example, we had a lead behavior that enabled an NPC to guide the player, and a follow behavior allowing an NPC to follow the player or another NPC. Behaviors worked alongside the NPC's base actions, so a medic squad mate using the follow behavior to keep up with the player would still know how to fire at enemies, or dodge grenades, or offer a med kit.
Watch out for the hoppers, they're everywhere!
Yeah. You're not wrong. Although apparently I think vitamin C is good for the seasonal depression, but yeah.
Sorry, Freeman.
Follow Freeman.
C or D, one of the two.
Watch out! Excuse me.
Okay, so this is definitely the wrong way.
Let's get moving.
Problem is, I don't know what the right way is. So I came down here, I killed these guys. It gave me access to this room, but there's like nowhere to go here. Well, I missed this door, didn't I? But this is a long load. And it's actually a long load. I'm looking over at my hard drive light. It is actually just on. How big is this level? This is not a computer from 2003. For it to be taking this long to load, either there's a error with the hard drive, which, admittedly, possible, or it's a massive fucking level.
Simply a refusal to grow, an insistence on suicide. Did the lungfish refuse to breathe? It did not. It crept forth boldly while its brethren remained in the blackest ocean abyss, with lidless eyes forever staring at the dark, ignorant and doomed despite their eternal vigilance. Would we model ourselves on the trilobite? Are all the accomplishments of humanity fated to be nothing more than a layer of broken plastic shards, thinly strewn across a fossil bed, sandwiched between the Burgess Shale and an eon's worth of mud? In order to be true to our nature and our destiny, we must aspire to greater things. We have outgrown our cradle. It is futile to cry for mother's milk when our true sustenance awaits us among the stars. And only the universal union that small minds call the Combine can carry us there. Therefore I say yes, I am a collaborator. We must all collaborate, willingly, eagerly, if we expect to reap the benefits of unification. And reap we shall.
Wow.
Sorry, Doc.
I love doors that just swing both directions. That's where we came from. This is where we're going.
Let's get moving! Dr. Freeman, we hoped for one more fighter to help storm that barricade. We never guessed it would be you.
Wait for me! Pardon me. Sorry, Doc.
Pardon me.
Okay, I guess we can't. I was thinking maybe we could go further. Definitely no.
Assault behavior. The most complex behavior we built for Half-Life 2 was the assault behavior, which is used throughout this section of the game. It allowed level designers to set up combat scenarios with Combine soldiers and citizens, establishing battle lines between them and controlling how those battles played out based on the player's action. NPCs involved in an assault would try to find smart firing positions and use cover based on the battle line's location. As the player advanced down the street, they might push the battle line forward, causing allied citizens to advance while enemy soldiers fell back. Alternatively, a player might need to knock over some Combine turrets or take out a soldier behind a barricade to move the battle line forward. Assault behavior. The most complex behavior we built for Half-Life 2 was the assault behavior, which is used throughout this section of the game. It allowed level designers to set up combat scenarios with Combine soldiers and citizens, establishing battle lines between them and controlling how those battles played out based on the player's action. NPCs involved in an assault would try to find smart firing positions and use cover based on the battle line's location. As the player advanced down the street, they might push the battle line forward, causing allied citizens to advance while enemy soldiers fell back. Alternatively, a player might need to knock over some Combine turrets or take out a soldier behind a barricade to move the battle line forward.
That's not what I'm gonna do.
Reload.
Thank you.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
That's a good call.
Take this med kit. Cover me while I reload.
I'm hurt.
Just saying they should probably have been given more of a directive to push out of the way of the player.
I'm hurt.
Let's go up first.
Whatever you say.
I feel like we're fighting through an impossible right now.
Follow Freeman.
Annoyingly, I haven't actually found a way to tell them to stop staying where I told them to stay, so. I wouldn't say that was a whoops. I'd say it was a good job.
Minor lacerations detected.
Interesting. Well, hang on then. Because I had an option to go up the stairs here. What's up here? Ooh, a cache.
Here, take this med.
There we go. Well, that's not how that roof's supposed to go. And it looks like they ran out of time to finish this particular collapse as well, because that would not be in one piece, nor would it look that smooth.
Cities. One of the trickier challenges in this section was figuring out how to give the player the sense of being in a sprawling city, when our performance budgets wouldn't allow us to render anything like one. This led us to focusing on tightly packed tenements, underground garages, subway tunnels, culverts, and the like. All places that are in cities, but generally prevent being able to see the horizon. We then supplemented that style of level design with vista locations, where the whole space is dedicated to providing an expansive view to the player. In those, we could devote our entire performance budget to the view, and not have to save any of it for enemy AI or combat.
Come on, guys. I think they're in a field spawn. Alright. That's why this is here.
Follow Freeman! That door's locked from the other side, Dr. Freeman. Maybe you can find a way around. Looks nasty. Good thing you got that suit.
Oh, good. Let's do this again with a lot less depth, shall we? What am I supposed to do here? Oh. These windows probably should have been a hint.
Hey, it's me. Open the door. Stand back! It's gonna blow! I see you made it through okay. Figured you would.
What's gonna blow? He just randomly said that.
Let's get moving! It's not safe here anymore. They're shelling the hell out of us. Keep moving, Dr. Freeman. I'll send word you're coming and see you up ahead.
Sounds good.
Let me get out of your way.
We used a lot of small tricks and built various features to give players the impression of a city at war, with much of the work aimed at providing glimpses of skirmishes or the sounds of distant fighting. Look targets help make something happen every time a player looked through a window, while tools like tracer markers allowed designers to create fake tracer fire between 2 points. Paired with audio tools, this made it seem like 2 groups of enemies were exchanging fire without the need to run any AI. We also developed small storylines for groups of citizens the player would glimpse multiple times while progressing through a level. All these moments were fine-tuned through playtests to ensure as many players as possible would experience them.
That's clever.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman. Okay, come across.
This is a maze of geometry. They did a really good job. You could really get lost.
Take this med kit.
Thank you, but I need to get down the stairs.
Cover me while I reload.
Okay, this is where we went in.
Like that! Reload, Dr. Freeman. Here, have a med kit.
the changes made to the AI to make this all work properly. It's probably very useful, like, what's the other name of the game? Left 4 Dead 2. No, okay. Excuse me. How am I supposed to proceed? Because if we jump down this hole, that's very clear you can't go back. Collected that stuff. I've explored down this hallway.
Cover me while I reload.
Yeah, there's nothing down there. I've tried going this way. There's a very distinct lack of ability to go this way.
You better reload. Excuse me.
I am confused and unsure. And I don't want to go back out there because that just undoes all the progress that I've made. But that might literally be the thing I have to do here.
Sorry, Doc.
Yet I feel like I'm supposed to go through there.
Sorry.
Based on their lack of following, I'm going to say that that was in fact not the way to go. Okay, I went through this way the first time. Oh. Okay, fair enough. So our goal then is to get up there, I think. And then I drop down here, and I'm back where I was stuck.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm just blind. I appreciate that even they have to deal with the zombies.
Here, have a med kit. Take this med kit.
Thank you.
Sorry, Doc.
Okay, so this is a dead end. This is not. There's a lot more healing in this last section of the game, I've noticed. And there's also a lot more enemies.
Gordon!
Oh, hey!
I had a feeling I'd find you here. I've got Dr. Kleiner in a safe spot. Now we can join up with Barney.
Sounds good.
There's a command center downstairs. I'm hoping to find information about generator locations. Ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go. Don't mind me,
Sorry.
just picking up loot. Fighting in close quarters, let's use a shotgun. Clear.
Whoops. Well, we're in luck. There's a generator in the square outside. We're trying to disable as many as we can to loosen the Combine's grip on this sector. It'll take me a few minutes to expose the core, then I'll need you to hit it with a burst from the gravity gun. In the meantime, watch my back.
Sounds like a plan.
You were amazing back there, Dr. Freeman. But I feel sorry for anyone who put down a security deposit.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting it back.
Sorry, Doc.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with two converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
We can get out of here. It's a standard panel. Come on.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
I should save that for sniping.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
Get out of here. The standard panel.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from
They
behind
had
the
to know
field,
that the
their
dialogue
battle
get
lines
used
prevent them
right?
from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle line Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. At Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
Okay, Barney should be on the far side of that canal.
Well, there used to be a bridge here.
Yeah, no, there did.
Let me see if I can scout a new path. Ah, wait for me here.
Wait for you. Okay. Wait, where the She has... God damn.
Hey! Looks like we might be able to get through down there. Let's head that way. Ah, no!
Well, that doesn't look so good for her.
Run! Get out of here!
Manhack Tunnels. When developing the AI behavior for an NPC, we found it useful for the AI programmer to have a test map in which to experiment. That map would often evolve into an environment specifically designed to showcase the NPC's unique capabilities. Later, when the AI was ready for use by level designers, the test map served as a valuable point of reference. Without it, designers could accidentally build scenarios that made an otherwise interesting AI less engaging. In some cases, we were able to incorporate these test maps directly into the game. This small section, for instance, started as the tunnels used to develop the Manhack's AI. Manhack Tunnels. When developing the AI behavior for an NPC, we found it useful for the AI programmer to have a test map in which to experiment. That map would often evolve into an environment specifically designed to showcase the NPC's unique capabilities. Later, when the AI was ready for use by level designers, the test map served as a valuable point of reference. Without it, designers could accidentally build scenarios that made an otherwise interesting AI less engaging. In some cases, we were able to incorporate these test maps directly into the game. This small section, for instance, started as the tunnels used to develop the Manhack's AI. Manhack tunnels. When developing the AI behavior for an NPC, we found it useful for the AI programmer to have a test map in which to experiment. That map would often evolve into an environment specifically designed to showcase the NPC's unique capabilities. Later, when the AI was ready for use by level designers, the test map served as a valuable point of reference. Without it, designers could accidentally build scenarios that made an otherwise interesting AI less engaging. In some cases, we were able to incorporate these test maps directly into the game. This small section, for instance, started as the tunnels used to develop the Manhack's AI.
For the record, if anyone's wondering why a game from 2003 looks as good, it's because it's ray tracing. Unironically, they just pre-baked it for many, many hours on the CPU. This game is effectively ray traced. Can I just point out how interesting it is that at this point of the game, you somehow gain the ability to heal over time?
Toxin level munition depleted.
Yeah, it was worth a shot.
Major fracture detected.
After this, I'm going to have to call it a day because diabetes at the moment requires me to be on a pretty strict, schedule with regard to diet with insulin and eating and all of the fun stuff. So I have to figure out what I want to do, basically. Also, can I just say that that lever there looks straight out of Half-Life 1? Oh, stop. Imagine that being the way you die. Goddamn, that'd be terrible. Shot in the face with a hot rod of iron. I am hurting for help. Interesting. Who turned that back on, I wonder? Honestly, it's probably for the best. They probably added that there for the scenario where you accidentally fall down. Yeah, I don't think there's much to go up there.
Dr. Freeman! Like I said, you're on the way. We got split up
This is where I'm going to call it a night.
by
Have a good night,
snipers,
everyone.
and he's pinned.
I will see you tomorrow.